Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. My name is Kelsey, and today we have a very special pick a card collaboration video that I'm super excited to be doing. Today we are collaborating with the beautiful Lexi from Lexi the Leo. And I am going to be bringing forth messages about why your soul chose to incarnate, and Lexi over on her channel is going to be doing your soul's mission in this lifetime, and I will have her video linked down below in the description box and in the comment section for you guys as well. Lexi is such a beautiful soul. She has such beautiful high vibrational energy, and she has been such a big part of my own journey over the last couple of years. So I'm kind of fangirling at the fact that I'm collaborating with her right now, but she has really brought me a lot of clarity in regards to kind of evolving and like my deeper kind of topics and subjects, as well as I've really resonated a lot with her energy when it comes to any kind of like starseed or light worker energies as well. She's very talented, very gifted reader, and I'm so excited to be able to connect with her like this. So definitely go check out her video, her channel if you haven't, and if you came here from her channel, thank you so much. And I'm super excited and honored to have you here. Let's go ahead and get into this pick a card reading to see why your soul chose to incarnate, you guys. So out in front of you, we have 4 different piles to choose from, 4 different cards, 4 different crystals. And here we have pile number 1 with the blue calcite, pile number 2 with the black obsidian, pile number 3 with the blue apatite, and pile number 4 with the selenite. So go ahead, take a couple deep breaths, really connect to your intuition and to your guides, and ask why your soul chose to incarnate, and which one of these 4 piles will bring forth that answer for you. Once you have done so, I will have the timestamps to the beginning of each reading in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comment. So go ahead, vibe out, feel which pile or even piles you are feeling drawn to. Go ahead and pause the video if you still need a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 1. Hello, my beautiful group number 1, those of you that chose the blue calcite and the let go card here. This reading's for you, and we are looking at why your soul chose to incarnate. So first of all, an energy that's coming in here very strongly is like Syrian energy. So for some of you guys, you may be very connected to like Syrian energies, or I do feel for some of you guys that that's the case, and for others of you, I feel like this is kind of the energy that you brought into this incarnation to kind of experience almost. There's something here about the ego, really learning how to like shed the ego almost. So it's almost interesting. It's almost as though like your soul wanted to incarnate into this very physical, dense 3D reality in order to learn how to almost like lift itself up, how to shed the ego, how to shed the constraints or the restrictions of this very dense reality that we live in. So a lot of my group number 1s, you may be my souls here that have experienced a lot of very difficult times. You may have experienced a lot of hardship. And I also feel like for a lot of you guys, this comes with like this energy of holding on very tightly to the things that you do have. You may experience fear of lack, or you may struggle with that energy, like fear of letting go of things, or even fear of almost like utilizing what you have. out of this idea that then it'll be gone and you won't have it, or you know, I might need this someday, so I'm just going to hold on to it and put it in my closet. There's definitely that kind of energy here, and your soul chose to incarnate in this world to kind of experience what it means to be kind of almost weighed down, is the term that I'm receiving here. So I do feel for a lot of my group number ones that you have experienced a very heavy kind of life. And your soul chose to incarnate into this very dense life because your soul wanted to learn how to shed, how to release, how to almost like shed the ego or heal the ego for some of you guys. As well as like learning how to be vulnerable, learning how to like shine light in the darkness. Some of you guys may resonate with being light workers or healers as well. Or you may be very drawn to that energy. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot for group number one and go a little deeper into this message for you. And why your soul chose to incarnate for group number one, please. We have the Ace of Spells. I do feel for a lot of my group number ones that this is your first incarnation in this world, on Earth, essentially. You guys may be a lot more in tune with your spiritual self, with your energetic self, than with like this physical reality. You may have a hard time grounding. You may have a hard time understanding like this very almost what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say consumable world. I feel like group number one, a lot of you guys come from a very different kind of energy. Your soul comes from a very different kind of energy, and it's like your soul chose to incarnate here because it wanted to experience a vastly different world. I feel like for group number one, a lot of my souls that chose this pile haven't ever been in like a physical body or a physical kind of reality. It's all been very energetic, vibration type energies. And your soul wanted to experience like the physical. So group number one, a lot of you guys too may be very in tune with your other senses, and even kind of like the air element, or fire element, even for some of you guys, very energetic elements versus like the very earth and physical elements. But there's like this aspect of being very in tune with like your hearing. You may have a lot of like overstimulation when it comes, or sensory kind of almost like issues when it comes to your sense of touch. You may be very particular about even like the way your clothes feel on you, about your environment as well. And I feel like it's because your soul isn't used to the stimulation that comes with this physical incarnation. Interesting. Let's pull another card here. Group number one. Why did your soul choose to incarnate for group number one, please? I feel like your soul really wanted to experience like the ego aspect of this realm, of this world, of this incarnation. We have the Green Mother here, the Empress. This is very Venus energy, that sensuality. Your soul wanted to incarnate to experience the physical senses. That's something that's coming through here very strongly. Interesting. So I do feel like for group number one, if you guys ever have a hard time like grounding yourself, or being very present, some of you guys may find that you are very likely to like drift off mentally, or like kind of even energetically be in other places. very easily. And I feel like a very good way to ground yourself has to do with bringing your awareness to your physical senses, like the 5 physical senses. What do I touch right now? What can I smell right now? What do I taste right now? What do I see right now? Is going to be a way to really ground yourself into your body and into the present moment and into what you were currently doing in that time. Some of you guys may feel like you are very almost like ADHD or easily distracted, maybe a way that you describe it as well. But I really, and part of that I'm seeing here with the Empress is like this energy of the child, like this curiosity of a child and wanting to explore all the different facets of life. And I feel like that's your soul on this earth. And you may find it very difficult to stay focused. And a good way to do that is by bringing yourself to your physical senses to really put yourself back in your body. Interesting. So even for some of you guys, I feel like your soul chose to also, like your soul chose to incarnate here because it wanted to experience the physicality of this world. But I also feel like for some of you guys, it wanted to experience the physicality of the energy of love. So for some of you guys, there may be a strong focus surrounding intimacy, healing intimacy issues, or being able to be vulnerable with other people, or allowing yourself to open up romantically to other people, maybe kind of a part of your journey in this incarnation. We also have the Liar. So I also, again, this is bringing me back to like this energy of a lot of my souls that chose this pile having a lot of very difficult experiences in this earth, a lot of very heavy experiences on this earth in this incarnation. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this has to do with temptation, with this Venus energy here and this sensual energy and this kind of energy of beauty and luxury and pleasure and desire. That can very easily kind of overflow into temptation and overindulgence. So I do feel like for group number 1, a lot of you guys may have struggled with overindulgence or underindulgence depending on your situation and your experiences. But I do feel like that has something to do with you know, maybe even your soul mission in this lifetime. Definitely check out Lexi's video to see how that connects to this, because I feel like for a lot of you guys, your soul chose to incarnate here to experience sensuality and kind of the luxuriousness of this physical world. And I feel like for group number 1, pleasure plays a big role in your healing journey, allowing yourself to have desires or to enjoy, you know, pleasure in any way, shape, or form may be very difficult for you or far too easy for you to overindulge in. That's something that's coming up here quite strongly. Interesting. Let's go ahead, group number 1, and pull you some oracle cards and see what else comes up here in regards to why your soul chose to incarnate. For group number 1, please. We have the gift, communication, gift, and crystals. And even crystals are very, you know, they're very solid. They're very earth-like energy. And I really feel for a lot of you guys that you wanted to experience that very physical energy. And I keep seeing like precious crystals or gems. Some of you guys, I'm almost seeing like your love language may have to do with gift giving. Interesting. I also feel for a lot of you guys that your soul chose to incarnate here to bring healing to your own soul, but also I feel like to other souls here, or to children that you have while you're here. that can come through differently for everybody, as this is a general reading for sure. But I definitely feel like you guys came into this incarnation with the intention of having something to offer as well, because there was so much you wanted to kind of indulge in this world. It was like you felt like you had to bring something to offer. In place of what you were taking. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like for group number 1, for sure, your soul wanted to experience the kind of the structure of this physical plane. Even with the Liar here, this is the Devil card in the traditional tarot. That doesn't always indicate a negative thing. It's Capricorn energy, it's Saturn energy. It's very kind of physical, masculine, logical, routine, stable, structural energy. And that's really what I'm feeling here, is that's why your soul chose to incarnate here, is to experience that aspect. We also have fulfillment with the peach here. Yeah, see, you guys really wanted to experience the sweetness of this physical world. Abundance, prosperity, luxury, sensuality, intimacy, romance. You guys may even resonate with being like a hopeless romantic type energy. Physical touch may be kind of a love language for you guys as well. Whether it be romantic love language or not, you guys might be like the huggers, or you may always find that you have to touch the people that you're talking to. And I feel like for group number 1, a lot of you guys, with that touch, that energy of touching other people, you may have like this gift of being able to read energy through touch. That is something that I'm picking up on here as well. So let's pull one last card here for group number 1 to see why your soul chose to incarnate. For group number 1, please. Connection. Yeah, there is definitely something here about your soul really wanting to experience physical connection to pleasure and desire and love. Like this physical connection to love is really the biggest thing that I'm picking up on here. The ability to like touch and physically feel love, like the vibration of love. Wow, I love that. You know, and of course with I feel like every incarnation in this physical plane, we experience hardships and things that we have to heal from, and we bring, you know, our own baggage into this world sometimes. So I'm not saying that like your life is just going to be butterflies and rainbows, but I do feel like your soul chose to incarnate in this world to experience the physical connection of the physical connection of love, really, the physical feeling of love. Wow, I really like that for you guys. But this is what I'm seeing for my beautiful group number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, please leave a yellow heart emoji in the comment section below and let me know what pile you chose. Don't forget to go check out Lexi's videos if you haven't already. I thank you guys so very much for joining me. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. Thank you so very much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 2. Those of you that chose pile number 2 here with the black obsidian, this reading is for you, and we are looking at why your soul chose to incarnate. And the card you guys chose here is the Equilibrium card. Okay, so group number 2, it's interesting that you guys were group number 2 as well, because obviously the equilibrium kind of brings forth this idea of balance. But what I'm really feeling here for group number 2 has a lot to do with like the shadow self versus the higher self, as well as like this idea that your soul really wanted to experience this idea of duality versus unity. So group number 2, a lot of you guys, your souls came from somewhere that I feel like was one. There, and you know, even in this world, that's really, I feel like the goal is bringing unity into this world. So for some of you guys, that could definitely tap into like your soul's mission in this lifetime. So definitely check out Lexi's video when you're done here. But there's definitely this energy here of bringing your higher self and your shadow into balance, and your soul wanting to experience this world of polarity, of duality. Interesting. So group number 2, a lot of you guys may really resonate with this idea of soulmates, or this idea of twin flames for some of you guys, or even for some of you guys, like feeling like there's a part of you missing, or feeling separated from something or from someone, depending on your situation. There's just this sense of feeling like this lack of wholeness here. And I feel like this has a lot to do with what your soul chose to come here for, was to learn how to navigate this idea of separation internally and externally. So group number 2, you guys may also be my groups here who really have dove very deep into like the shadow work, or dove very deep into raising your vibration, or working with your higher self, or working with these different aspects of self, getting to know or tuning into these different aspects of self, the shadow self, the higher self, the feminine, the masculine energies, the inner child. I do feel like for group number 2, a lot of you guys really work a lot with your kind of third eye energies, or even your crown chakra energies, but really trying to connect spiritually may be something that's very difficult for you to do. And I feel like that is directly correlated to why your soul chose to incarnate here, because your soul wanted to experience this aspect of like the physical world versus the spiritual world as well. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot here for group number 2. You guys may be kind of like my mystics, my witches, my intuitives, my psychics. Some of you may read tarot. Very, very spiritually inclined souls here. I feel like scrying is something that may be calling out to you as well, or a way for you guys to get in tune or in touch with some answers or some clarity that maybe you haven't been able to quite grasp yet. That's something that's coming in here. As well as I am sensing for group number 2 that your shadow self is in need of some attention in some way, shape, or form. But why did group number 2's soul choose to incarnate? We have the Ace of Boons. I do feel like for a lot of my souls that chose this pile, you are meant to kind of work for yourself, is something that I'm seeing here. You're meant to, I feel like, some of you guys may make your money or build some sort of business based on your spirituality or your belief systems. You may offer spiritual services in some way, shape, or form, and bring that spiritual energy into this physical realm is something that I'm seeing here. Kind of creating that unity of spiritual and physical worlds, bringing them together. I feel like that has a lot to do with why your soul chose to incarnate here, group number 2. We also have sunlight. Okay, group number 2, I really feel for a lot of you guys that your soul chose to incarnate here to help raise the vibration of this place, but also to learn how to do it internally. Like there's definitely that dual aspect here, group number 2, of like internal versus external as well. So I feel like you guys are almost on like two different kind of missions here, or two different contracts or lessons that you chose to incarnate into, internally and externally. Like externally raising the vibration, but also doing this internal work to understand it in like two different perspectives. Interesting. So I do feel like group number 2, you guys are here, like your soul chose to incarnate to bring light. Your soul chose to incarnate to help heal the shadow of this world, essentially. You guys may resonate with the term light workers or shadow workers, or something along those lines, or again, my mystics, my high priests or priestesses. But there's definitely like this aspect of your soul wanting to incarnate to experience like energy in a different way as well, which is kind of interesting. And I feel like that may be kind of a collective thing for our souls to incarnate on this earth to experience energy in a different way, especially if our soul maybe originates from, you know, somewhere else, where like a lot of our souls do. Yeah, I really feel like for group number 2, though, you guys are here to bring light, to experience duality, polarity, and to create some sort of growth. Whether this growth is in a way where you build a business and you maybe create abundance and growth in your life and build kind of a legacy, or, you know, something that you pass down from generation to generation, or whether this growth is more energetic in the sense of like healing other people or healing the vibration of this world. That's going to be different for everybody, as this is a general reading, but that's really what I'm seeing here. We also have the Child of Visions coming out here. I really love this energy, group number 2. I feel like you guys, your soul chose to incarnate to help almost cleanse this world of trauma, of shadow energy, to help heal the shadow energy of this world, to help bring healing, to help cleanse, to help wash away past hurt. Wow. I also feel like for group number 2, a lot of you guys may really struggle with like imposter syndrome. That's something that's coming in here. You may struggle with feeling like you're living a lie, or you may struggle with feeling like you fit in, or struggle with feeling like this is truly why your soul chose to incarnate, or that you're on the right path. Some of you guys may struggle with you know, how other people view you, or what other people think about you and your beliefs about you and the work that you do. You may have encountered other people like making you feel like the work you do isn't real, and you may have doubts about that sometimes. And I feel like Spirit just wants you to know that what you're doing is bringing healing and light to the world. So don't stop doing what you're doing, because other people may make you feel self-conscious about it. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you, group number 2, and see what else comes out in regards to why your soul chose to incarnate. Group number 2. We have the Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper, power, and abundance. Yeah, see, group number 2, you guys were meant to kind of be this gatekeeper between like our world and a spiritual world. You guys kind of travel back and forth, I feel like, between it. And I also feel like for group number 2, a lot of you guys create abundance, or are meant to create abundance by being this gatekeeper. I hope that makes sense for you. we also have freedom. There is a very strong energy here of bringing financial freedom to your bloodline. But also group number 2, I'm really feeling like this sense of you guys being very good at like astral projection or like spiritual travel here. Like it's something that I'm picking up on very strongly. And I feel like that has a lot to do with why your soul chose to come here. So group number 2, a lot of you guys too may create like spiritual freedom for others as well. Teaching others how to release like spiritual trauma, religious trauma, teaching others how to tune into their own gifts and abilities, how to tune into their own power, teaching others how to take their power back, balancing kind of this power dynamic in this world. Wow. Let's pull one final card for group number 2, please. And why your soul chose to incarnate for group number 2. New beginnings. So we have the Ace of Boons as well. So there is a sense of like bringing new life to this world, bringing new power to this world, bringing new light and healing. Again, like that new life into this world. Wow. So group number 2, I just have to say, like, don't ever doubt that you have something to offer to this world, whether you recognize what it is, whether you know what it is, whether you doubt that they're like, I feel like group number 2, you may struggle again with like that doubt of feeling very doubtful of what you have to offer, or feeling like you have no value. And Spirit really wants you to know that you do. You have huge amounts of value. And just your presence in this earth is creating like spiritual freedom and bringing light to and healing to this place. Even the bottom of the deck here, we have healing hands. I love that. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you guys, group number 2. This is what I'm seeing. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button and comment down below and leave a bird emoji or the dove emoji if you listened all the way to the end. Again, don't forget to go check out Lexi's video if you haven't already. I thank you guys so very much for joining me. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 3. Those of you that chose pile number 3, this reading's for you, and we are looking at why your soul chose to incarnate. So you guys here chose the blue apatite and the defense card. Okay, so group number 3, coming into your reading, there was a very intense feeling of like being very triggered, or getting, some of you guys may even kind of view this as like getting angry or getting very upset about things maybe not going your way, or because you feel like you can't catch a break, or because it was almost like the sense of like every time I try to do something, you know, I get pulled in different directions. I get thrown off course. I have to change and do something for somebody else. It's like you're feeling like your attention or like your energy is being pulled in 100 different directions, and you may be struggling with that, and that is something that's coming up here for group number 3. So it's interesting that your card here is defense. So I do feel like for group number 3, a big part of why your soul chose to incarnate here has a lot to do with the solar plexus chakra. It has a lot to do with kind of that masculine energy as well, learning how and when to take action and how and when to defend, how and when to have boundaries and to kind of navigate this physical reality in a way that is balanced and productive and safe. Some of you guys may even struggle with like survival mode. I do feel like your soul chose to incarnate. This blue apatite here is bringing me to this idea of wisdom or knowledge. Your soul chose to incarnate to gain wisdom. Your soul, it's almost group number 3. I feel like you guys have like very wise souls, but it's like you're constantly seeking wisdom, constantly seeking knowledge. You guys may resonate with like this idea of being self-taught, or even wanting to go to school, or liking to learn new things, or even for some of you guys this could come off more in like liking to read books or to get lost in like other fantasy realities or in your imagination. Even some of you guys may be here to bring that into this world, but that I feel like maybe kind of connects you to Lexi's reading. So definitely make sure you check that out when you're done here as well. But there is this essence of like your soul incarnating here. And it's almost like I'm being shown like into the solar plexus chakra. Like, and the solar plexus chakra has a lot to do with boundaries, with your self-esteem, with your confidence, with your courage, with the spotlight. So group number 3, a lot of my souls here may have chose to incarnate to kind of try to reach for the stars, if you will. Some of you guys may fantasize about being recognized. There's something here about your soul wanting to be recognized. And maybe for some of you guys, you have a hard time allowing others to see you. So there is a strong sense of like your soul wanting to learn what it's like to be in the spotlight. Okay. And that's going to come through in so many different ways, as this is a general reading. But, for instance, this could be fame and fortune. This could be, writing a New York bestseller. This could be being a social influencer. There's just something here about like being on stage or being in the spotlight or being viewed by a lot of other people, having a lot of wisdom to share in some way, shape, or form. And it's like your soul chose to incarnate to not only learn what it's like to experience that, but to be a teacher as well. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot, group number 3, and see a little deeper into why your soul chose to incarnate for group number 3, please. We have suspension. Interesting. I do feel like for group number 3, a lot of you guys may be going through something right now where you're feeling very stuck or very stagnant or feeling almost frozen. It's almost like feeling stuck in survival mode, but in a way where you freeze instead of like fight or flight. It's like freeze. And that may be like your natural defense mechanism here. And I feel like what I'm hearing here is like when that happens, or when you can acknowledge that that's happening, there's something here about like, what is this moment teaching me? Or what can I learn in this moment that can help me move again? So I feel like for group number 3, a lot of you guys may have a very physical reaction to nervousness or like that stage fright or anxiety where you freeze, where you're just not able to speak, or you're not able to move, or you're not able to continue what it was you were doing. And there's definitely something here about that holding you back, but also something here about that teaching you something, if you can allow yourself to examine it or to view that as a time where you can learn something from yourself or something from your own energy, instead of allowing it to make you upset, or instead of getting defensive or angry or triggered. Even for some of you guys, this energy may make you very angry. It may make you very upset. We also have here the Eight of Boons. Yeah, see, group number 3, you guys are my learners. You guys are my doers, like my try again group here. And I feel like there's something here that you guys are meant to continue trying. You may have tried something and failed, and that may have upset you, or you may have took that as like a message, like I'm not supposed to do that. But what I'm getting here, group number 3, is that your soul chose to incarnate here to learn how to do the hard things. So if there's like something that you've wanted to do for a long time, but maybe you've been afraid of doing it, or maybe you felt like you already failed, there's something here about needing to continue trying, and to not give up. And your soul chose to incarnate to experience, it's almost like to experience having to work for this knowledge or this wisdom or this skill, however that comes through for you. Group number 3, why did your soul choose to incarnate? The Four of Boons. Yeah, there's definitely something here, group number 3, where it's like very defensive, very reserved, very held back. And you guys may hold back a lot. And I feel like you do. I feel like you guys are holding back a lot. You're holding back a lot of what it is you want. You're holding back your very reserved energy. You may even experience this in ways where it's like you have a hard time trusting other people, or allowing other people into your space, into your energy, into your mind, potentially. There's something here for group number 3 where it's like you're meant to speak, you're meant to communicate, you're meant to write. Other people are meant to come into contact with your words, with your ideas, with your mind in some way, shape, or form. And it's like the part of you that you hide is the part of you that you're meant to be recognized for, or you're meant to be in the spotlight for. But it's like you defend this part of yourself so hard because it feels so vulnerable. And your soul chose to incarnate to learn how to express this part of you in this way. Interesting. You know, and for some of you guys, depending on, you know, the varying degrees of this and how like solidified this is within you, this could be something that you've been working on over multiple lifetimes. So it's something that I'm really hearing here for group number 3 is really working on, again, that solar plexus chakra, but like your self-esteem and your confidence. And being confident in yourself and confident in who you are, and working on your self-esteem and being who you are all the time, instead of feeling like there's parts of yourself that you have to hide or defend out of fear of what other people might say or think, or however that might come through for you. Let's go ahead and pull some oracle messages for you, group number 3, and see what else wants to come out in regards to why your soul chose to incarnate for group number 3, please. Okay. We have the Fawn with beginnings, willingness, and opportunities. Yeah, there's definitely something here about your soul choosing to incarnate to learn how to be willing to share your energy. Especially with this Four of Boons here, this is definitely showing me this particular suspension card. This is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot, but in this particular deck, he's in amber, you know, kind of preserved. just kind of hanging out. But there's something here about needing to be willing to be open, needing to be willing to allow opportunities to come in, needing to be willing to allow yourself to be seen. In the bottom of the deck, we have wisdom, power, and transformation. Yeah, see, it's very, like, this is the very deep kind of soul aspect of why you chose to incarnate here, for this wisdom and for this transformation of your soul. But in order to gain that wisdom, you have to first be willing to open up here. And again, I feel like this, for group number 3, I feel like this is something you've been working through over multiple lifetimes. The Eight of Boons indicates hard work. It indicates repetitiveness. It indicates trying again and again. Perfecting your skills. So that may be something here for you too. Group number 3 is really working to hone your craft. Let's pull another card here for you guys. Group number 3, why did your soul choose to incarnate? For group number 3, please. Stillness. And the bottom of the deck, we have openness. See, and there's something here about being very still, but it's almost as though this energy that you're in this stillness is almost more like this frozen energy, this fearful kind of, I can't move because of my fear type energy, instead of being at peace in the stillness and being open. And I feel like that's something that you guys are working through in this lifetime for sure. Group number 3, I also feel like for a lot of you guys, there is something here about being in the stillness and attracting the opportunities that you want, and allowing energy to flow in and out of your life willingly, instead of being in this very defensive kind of energetic state. Because this defensive energetic state doesn't allow the opportunities that you are desiring. So something I feel like would be very beneficial for group number 3 is learning how to sit with yourself, learning how to sit in stillness, learning how to meditate potentially for some of you guys, or practicing that, learning how to be still, learning how to allow. I really feel like group number 3, a lot of you really struggle with maybe anxiety or fight or flight or survival mode, feeling like there's danger, but in that defensive energy and constantly seeing threats and everything, you also push away the opportunities that are coming in to help you grow and to help you achieve the goals that you have, and to achieve like the wisdom that your soul incarnated for. So let's pull one final card, group number 3. One final card, and why your soul chose to incarnate here for group number 3, please. Trust. I love this. Learning how to trust, learning how to be open, learning how to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Learning how to trust yourself. Learning how to trust that being open doesn't necessarily mean that you are just automatically going to receive the worst possible outcome. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you, group number 3, but this is what I'm seeing. Your soul chose to incarnate to gain a lot of wisdom in regards to what it means to be open, to be still, to attract, and to be in the spotlight, I feel, for a lot of you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below, let me know if you chose this pile, and go ahead and leave an owl or a swan emoji in the description or in the comment box below to let me know you watched this all the way to the end. Again, don't forget to check out Lexi's video if you haven't already. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 4. Those of you that chose pile number 4 with the selenite moon and the navigation card here, this reading is for you, and we are looking at why your soul chose to incarnate. So I'm getting a very kind of interesting vibe from your group, pile number 4. So first of all, I'm definitely getting the energy of like navigating by the stars, as somebody who traveled like on a ship would do, or like very pirate type energy, as well as Peter Pan energy. So those energies are coming through here quite significantly, but I really feel like group number 4, you guys may be very driven by astrology, or very driven by like following some sort of guidance to navigate your world. You know, that's kind of how this is coming through here, like astrology essentially, or allowing like the stars to guide you, or allowing your belief in something to lead the way. Interesting. So group number 4, I am also really feeling like a sense of abandonment here. Some of you guys may really struggle with abandonment wounds that were inflicted by like parental or guardian figures. That's something that's coming through here as well. And you know, it's going to be different for everybody, as this is a general reading, but I do feel like for a lot of you guys that this kind of abandonment wound and the belief in some sort of higher power or some sort of navigation system essentially are connected in some way, shape, or form, or like one is driving the other. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot, group number 4, and see why your soul chose to incarnate. Some of you guys may allow the kind of like the lunar phases to guide you in your spiritual practices as well. Well, and I'm getting this very strong kind of oceanic vibe, which with the pirates and stuff that would make sense, but the moon also controls the tide and the ebb and flow, the ups and downs of the water. So I do feel like all of that is kind of connected for you, group number 4. A lot of you guys may have had like past lives where you are very connected to the water, or even feel very connected to Atlantis. But yeah, the ocean or water seems very significant to group number 4. So let's go ahead here. Group number 4, why did your soul choose to incarnate? For group number 4, please. We have the Liar. We have the 10 of Boons. The Seeker of Visions. And the 3 of Challenges. Okay, yeah. So this is an extra card for you guys here. But group number 4. I really feel for a lot of you guys, you've spent a lot of your life living in a very rebellious nature, trying to prove somebody or something else wrong. And for some of you guys, it may have led you very astray for a period of time. or caused you to travel down very treacherous roads, or experience a lot of maybe intoxicating but very harmful experiences. But those experiences, I feel, led you back to wholeness. It's very interesting here. It's almost like you had to fall apart in order to build yourself back together. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, your soul chose to incarnate to experience detoxing almost. It's almost like this incarnation for you has a lot to do with like soul detoxification of like trauma, and learning how to build bonds again, learning how to navigate through treacherous territory, through stormy waters, without giving in to temptation or without giving in to desires that will take you off course. Even here with this 3 of Challenges, this particular deck of cards shows the father leaving the children behind. Group number 4, a lot of you guys may have had a father figure or a parental figure leave the home, or you may have felt abandoned, and that may have caused you to kind of rebel or go down a very difficult path. Interesting. So, okay, group number 4, what I'm really feeling here is like your soul chose to incarnate to experience almost like a sense of codependency, but in a kind of different sense than what you would normally think. I feel like this sense of codependency has a lot more to do with like depending on your wounds or your trauma to lead you down through life, through your journey, like allowing your trauma or your wounds to be your navigation. And I feel like in this lifetime, group number 4, a lot of you guys have learned how to overcome a lot of that. Again, it's like a deep soul detoxification and healing. Wow. So group number 4, a lot of you guys, your soul may have chosen to incarnate to heal a lot of generational trauma as well. Your family or your bloodline that you are part of in this lifetime may have experienced a lot of temptation, a lot of addiction, a lot of poverty. That I feel like you guys, it's almost as though generation after generation, it's like this bloodline or this family line had continued to shatter and to break apart and to fall apart in different ways. And I feel like group number 4, a lot of you guys came into this life, your soul chose to incarnate to kind of bring this family back together in some way, shape, or form, or to heal the wounds that have been inflicted over generations through this family or through this bloodline. In a personal level, though, I really, really feel group number 4 that your soul chose to incarnate to heal some very deep abandonment wounds that have been potentially inflicted over multiple lifetimes for you. That pain may feel very familiar, and it may be very difficult to kind of course correct once you allow your pain to begin leading the way here. Group number 4, a lot of you guys, when you experience painful situations or very high emotional situations, you may find that you make very impulsive decisions, or that you run away, or that you just kind of sever your ties and leave, or, you know, it's going to come through differently for everybody. But I feel like in this life you you maybe experienced a lot of pain, or maybe even currently are experiencing a lot of pain, depending on, you know, what you're going through at the time that you find yourself at this video. But I feel like your soul chose to incarnate here to learn how to navigate this pain in a way where it doesn't cause you to abandon yourself, and to heal, to begin healing at least. Wow. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle messages for you, group number 4, and go a little deeper into why your soul chose to incarnate. Wisdom. And look at the ocean we have here. The mermaid. Water holds memory. There's definitely something here about like generations, about the emotional imprint that you were born with, about past lives potentially for some of you guys, and all of the kind of lessons that you've learned through pain. That's kind of all coming together or to the forefront in this lifetime for you to learn how to overcome this pain. Oh wow, that's very interesting. So apparently this deck of cards, I got a duplicate. Look at that. That seems quite significant for my group number 4s here. Wow. Okay. So really learning how to navigate your pain, how to navigate your world without allowing your pain to inflict more damage, or without allowing yourself to abandon yourself or jump ship because of what you're experiencing. And that may definitely be connected to kind of your life, your soul's mission in this lifetime. So definitely don't forget to check out Lexi's video if you when you're done with this, if you haven't already, to see how that's connected for group number 4. But let's pull another card here. Inspiration. Group number 4, a lot of you guys may be meant to be like artists, turning like your pain into art, or finding a creative way to express your pain, or finding a way to express your pain in a way that creates something instead of breaks or tears down something. Maybe through music, maybe through like painting or writing. I feel like group number 4, a lot of you guys have a gift of creating something, utilizing your talents, your skills, or you know, even just writing, or however that comes through for you, expressing your pain in that way. And it has the ability to touch a lot of other souls and to create healing. For some of you guys, this may be kind of like your shadow work, or how you experience your shadow work is by expressing your pain through art or creation in some way, shape, or form. I feel like your soul chose to incarnate here in order to kind of uncover all of these layers of pain, to remember like who you are at your core. Wow. So let's pull one final card here, group number 4, in regards to why your soul chose to incarnate. Master of the Hunt, speed, masculinity, and flow. For sure, like there is very much so this energy of mastering your pain, learning how to navigate your pain, learning how to utilize your talents, your skills, your wisdom, your soul memories. Even for some of you guys, there's a strong connection to like Atlantean energy here that I'm picking up on for group number 4, kind of like the fall of Atlantis, maybe kind of where the start of this soul imprint, or this even kind of like generational trauma energy that I'm picking up on, started for a lot of you guys. And it's like you guys are healing from all of these lifetimes. And you may have even like kind of went through life in a very rapid pace. You may have experienced a lot of life in a very short amount of time. And it's like everything's coming together for you now, group number 4, in this lifetime. So I feel like your soul chose to incarnate here to be restored, to detox, wow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you guys, group number 4. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below, let me know if you chose this pile. Leave a mermaid or a fish or a trident emoji down below to let me know you watched all the way to the end. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so, and don't forget to go check out Lexi's video if you haven't already. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.